Hello, welcome back to another video, guys. Today we're gonna chat about a jiu-jitsu practitioner's worst nightmare injury. I just want to say, how cute is my freaking mug? So cute. Today we're gonna talk about how to prevent injuries and the couple of ways that I feel like are some of my favorite ways to try to prevent getting hurt. Now look, jiu-jitsu is a very aggressive sport, so bumps and bruises here and there, expect that. Those things are gonna happen. Some bruised ribs, a sore elbow, maybe a black eye. But what we really want to avoid is an injury that will keep us off the mats for a couple of months, an injury that may require surgery. That is literally my worst nightmare, right? So how can we prevent injury that will keep us off the mats for a long period of time? Okay, so the first thing, number one, I think is the most important thing to prevent injury is awareness. Being aware of where your body is, being aware of where your limbs are, I think is the most important thing that will prevent freak accidents that will keep you off the mats for a couple of months. So what do I mean by that? Now, this kind of thing, awareness of where your body is in a roll, this takes time. This takes time on the mats. This takes time training and rolling with all different kinds of people. This isn't just something that you just automatically get the first day that you step in the training room. It's being aware of positions and where your body parts are in those positions. For example, I was rolling with one of my friends the other night in training. She just got her blue belt last week and she's a great rolling partner. She's getting really good, but leg locks, they're not her thing yet. But I was trying to just sort of set up and catch a heel hook. I wasn't gonna rip it. I wasn't gonna crank it. I just wanted to see if I can get it and set it up. But I noticed that when she was defending, she was kind of rolling her body all over the place in the wrong direction. And she was just doing sort of anything that she could to get her leg free. So I let go because I was like, I don't want to keep holding on to something when she doesn't quite know how to defend it. And the last thing that I want to do is hurt my training partner. Now, I'm not saying it's her fault for not knowing how to defend the leg lock. She's just not there yet. But that is just kind of an example of just not being aware of where your body is. She wasn't aware of her leg positioning, her body positioning, which way to roll, which way to move herself to properly defend the attack. And in that kind of situation, if you're rolling with someone who's maybe not so nice or doesn't realize that you don't know how to defend it and they just keep holding on to it and maybe they crank the submission, that's where freak accidents happen. Another example of lacking awareness of where your body is in a roll is, I think this past summer, it was 4 years ago, I fractured my thumb and I tore the ligaments around it. And let me tell you, you don't realize how much you need your thumb until you don't have it. So yeah, that was a really annoying injury and it was a freak accident. I did not see it coming. I was playing guard and I had my arm all the way extended. Why I was playing guard with my hands all the way out here, I have no idea why. I was a white belt, who knows? And my friend that I was rolling with at the time, I guess she was going to pass and I have no idea what happened. I don't even know how she was passing. Again, just completely unaware of the situation that was happening. And the next thing I heard was crack, 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 and I stopped immediately and I was like,
oh no.
My left thumb blew up to where it looked like there was a golf ball inside of it and I was in a cast for, I think, 6 weeks. So that really stunk and it was a situation that could have possibly been prevented if I was just a little bit more aware of where my hands were, where my arms were when I was playing guard. And sometimes that's why rolling with brand new white belts can be a little bit dangerous because they have zero awareness of where their body is. They have zero awareness of where your body is, and that's why the whole roll is like, with limbs flying everywhere, body parts are flying everywhere, and they just are not aware of what's going on yet. But like I said, awareness of what's happening in a roll and where your body is to prevent getting injured, it takes time, so keep training. I promise that you will get there. The second way to help prevent injury is to develop some sort of recovery routine. Now, there are so many different tools and services that you can do to help recover your body after training. So developing a recovery routine can be so different for so many people. For me, it means rest days, sleep, overall nutrition and hydration, and rolling out. I used to be really bad at rest days. Like, I did not believe in them. I felt like if I missed just one class, I was going to forget all of the jiu-jitsu that I've ever learned. I had major FOMO, so missing one class was not an option. But just FYI, if you do that for too long, you get burnt out. If I'm feeling really sore, if I'm feeling really banged up, if I'm feeling really tired, I won't train. I'll either take a full rest day or I'll just do some sort of other light movement. So taken from someone who's been training a little while, missing a training day is not the end of the world. Next, for me, sleep is honestly probably the most important thing for recovery, and it should be for you too. To be quite honest, anyone who's out there who tries to get by on 4 to 5 hours of sleep, I have no idea how you guys do it. I have no idea how you guys function. If I get anything less than 7 hours of sleep, I feel it the next day. Maybe that's because I'm 30 now. I don't know, but sleep is so important to me. I need my 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. When we are sleeping, that is when our body is repairing itself. So it is so crucial to our overall functioning every day. And I'm a firm believer that if you are lacking sleep, it will hinder your performance in training. The next thing that I focus on for recovery is nutrition and hydration. For me, the overall quality of my food and the timing of my food around jiu-jitsu is what I really try to focus on. Since all of the craziness of 2020, I have really started focusing on the quality of my food. Back in the day when I wanted to be a bodybuilder and I would follow all of these different accounts telling me what to eat and how to eat, I'd be eating all these protein powders, I'd be buying all this gross grocery store chicken in bulk, and now all that kind of stuff just makes me want to vomit. I've really changed my mindset to thinking about what's in the food that I'm eating. What is in all of those protein powders? Where were those chickens raised? How were they raised? These are the kinds of things that I'm thinking about when I'm buying my groceries. Our bodies need quality food to function properly, and I'm not saying that you have to buy all organic everything. I don't, but I would just try to start thinking a little bit differently, possibly about the food you eat if you don't already. Now, as far as meal timing goes pertaining to jiu-jitsu, I like to have a good meal in me a couple hours before training. I don't like to have a big meal within that hour of training because my body digesting that big meal, training jiu-jitsu at the same time, it's not a great combination. So if I feel like I need a snack within that hour of training jiu-jitsu, it's gonna be fruit, it's gonna be a smoothie, something small, something that has fast releasing carbohydrates, maybe a little bit of sugar, versus, a steak and potatoes 30 minutes before I step on the mat. After training, our body needs fuel as well to help repair itself, so I always try to go for protein and a carb after training. For me personally, eating at night, I get done with training, say I get home at 9 o'clock, eating something after training at that time, I'm still able to sleep. I know there's a lot of people that say you shouldn't be eating a meal that late at night. It can get in the way of your sleep cycle. I don't know, but I also don't want to go to bed starving, and I want to make sure that I get something in my system after a hard night of training. So honestly, I'm just convinced that everything in the health and fitness world, everything in the food and nutrition world, find what works for you and stick with it. Health, nutrition, all of that stuff, it is not a one size fits all. And now this last one, rolling out, I'm gonna be honest, I'm really bad at it. I really like to think that it's part of my routine, but it's not. I only roll out if something hurts, so do not be like me. Be better than me. Roll out your muscles even when something doesn't hurt. What are some other things you can do to implement into your recovery routine? I used to be a frequent flyer at my chiropractor. I used to be there all the time. I haven't gone in a really long time, although I probably should. Routine massages, cryotherapy. People also love Epsom salt baths, all different kinds of things that you can do to help your body recover from the tough training that we put it through. The last little piece of advice to help prevent injury is strength training. To be honest, I'm always gonna try and be honest here. This is also something that I struggle with. Mostly when I just sort of get so focused on jiu-jitsu, I just don't make the time for strength training. But I will say, I just recently joined my old gym and I'm making the effort to go at least twice a week. Okay, I've been going once a week, but it's better than nothing. So why do we need to strength train? We develop all sorts of crazy imbalances from jiu-jitsu. Our body is put into all types of crazy, funky positions, and a lot of times that that's how we start feeling aches and pains. If you're a guard player, a lot of times we're in this position where we're sort of hunched over all the time, right? That develops imbalances. If you do certain movements on one side more so than the other, that can develop imbalances. That can develop maybe more strength on one side is more developed, one side is weaker. For example, I play De La Hiva on my left side, I play mostly X guard on my left side, I play single leg X on my left side, and my left IT band is usually pretty stiff. My right side, she's good. So there's definitely some correlation there. I think if you do some things more so on one side, like I said, I think that can develop tightness. I think that can develop certain parts of your body being overworked, and strength training can come in and help even things out a little bit. Maybe you pass on your feet on one side more so than the other. So maybe your glutes and your hamstrings fire off more easily on that side. Your opposite side is probably going to be a little bit weaker. So strength training can help build that other side up to even it out more so with the other side. So for me, my current goals with strength training, it's not so much to become so much stronger. I don't want to deadlift or squat a certain amount. I really don't have any interest in that in this season of my life. Strength training for me right now is more so to prevent injury and to balance out all of the imbalances that Jiu Jitsu gives me. I hope this video was helpful. If you guys have any tips on what you do for recovery, we're all one big Jiu Jitsu family. Leave a comment. Let me know, let everybody else know. Let's help each other out. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you found it helpful. If you are not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate it. And until the next video, I will see you guys next time.